long as you know, no, 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 no. I won't share you. I won't share you. Drive the dreams inside. This is my time. I want the freedom and I want the guide. I want the freedom and the guide. Oh, life tends to come and go as long as you know, no, 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 no. I won't share you, no, won't share you. I'll see you somewhere, I'll see you sometime. I won't share you. I won't share you. With the drive and ambition, the zeal I feel, this is my time. The notes I wrote as she ran, she said, has the Perrier gone straight to my head? Or is life sick and cruel instead? Yes, no, 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 no. I won't share you, no, no. I won't share you. With the drive and the dreams inside, this is my time. Life tends to come and go. That's okay as long as you know. Life tends to come and go as long as you know.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome, Jonas and Amethyst. We hope you've had a magnificent afternoon and enjoyed our lovely taco truck's nice nostalgia. We welcome you here on this sacred evening to lend your presence in honor of these glowing beings' long-awaited day. A day dedicated to the purest of unions. Jonas Orion Zollinger, brave lion, who is kind-spirited, sweet, steadfast, and genuine, to be evermore bonded together to Amethyst, Winter, Sky, Dawn. Curious kitten, who is pure-hearted, loyal, authentic, and true. This couple truly believe that in a vow of marriage there lies the path of creation, inspiration, blooming growth, courage, communication, and most importantly, ever-evolving love. You can stand a little closer, Jonas, to your love. I'm sure that many of you have asked yourselves at one point or another, how does life have such a magical way of putting us in the places that we are supposed to be at the very moment when we are meant to be there? For Jonas, that destined place just so happened to be in a school hallway in Ogden, Utah. A school hallway that most wouldn't consider to be very interesting at all. But in this crowded hallway all those years ago, something would happen that would change the course of his existence. So where did this relationship begin? If you ask Jonas, he would say it all started with a glance. Two kids who caught each other's eyes and in that moment saw each other's hopes and dreams. Somewhere in that momentary look there was an infinite longing, a life waiting to be lived. And most of all, somehow, ever so inexplicably, yet so, in the words of Jonas, so undeniably, the infinite tenderness of true love. Amethyst would say it began with a dream where she stood on a barren, vibrant, yellow grass hill with only one cherry blossom tree, blowing petals through the wind during a sunset that moved like the ocean, where she looked upon the vast, endless hills of what must be life and felt a complacent solitude. In this dream, she received a hug from a sand-colored boy from a farm nearby. And the hug was felt deeper in dreamscape than she had ever felt from any real or waking life connection. She wondered if this person was real until one day, after a long history of changing in and through schools, her father, nod to her father, he is over here, her father recommended, her father received a recommendation of the school Maria Montessori Academy. Amethyst was 11 years old when she attended her first day in the building, and it would change her whole perspective on life forever. She eventually saw his eyes. He stood taller than any of the other kids, and she noticed his face above the crowd, and that's when she truly knew. She'd also been budding right into the first sprout of maturity, and she wanted to have a crush. So she asked her new friend Zoe if there was anyone in the school she might like, and Zoe said, "His name is Jonas. He has long hair, he wears band shirts, and he is really weird." Amethyst had to find him, and that moment she realized that he was the sand-colored boy from her dreams. She felt the feeling of her heart really starting to beat at that moment with love. From memory and experience, love has sprouted. Jonas and Amethyst will now share their vows that have been activated from deep within them, mind, body, and spirit. We'll start with Jonas.
I cannot say how long I've waited for this moment. I can't calculate all the time that I've spent thinking about you. My future, my past, most of all at present. I've never met anybody in this world more deserving of love, more deserving of kindness. And that is what I vow to give you. I vow to be there for you, no matter what. As simple as it may sound, I vow to be yours, unconditional. I vow to stand up for your inner child. I vow to be your home, and your fireplace. And I'm gonna go do it. It's as simple as that.
Deborah, do you still have the ukulele wherever you are? Yes, please. While she grabs that. Well, I'm gonna try not to cry because if I talk while I'm crying, you won't understand anything. I'm I'm going to start with the simple thought that I never even thought any of this existed. I never thought that this many people even cared. I'm gonna be honest with the lifestyle that I've led. I thought I was gonna be a crazy cat lady all alone in my old house. But somewhere along the way, the course of life decided to tell me that I was on the wrong path for too long, and I've been through a lot of things, as a lot of you probably know. Not to get into all that, but I used to think that the world was just dark until, like, someone told me that I am lightness surrounded by darkness, and that's why I think that there's all that there is. And that's when I realized that I just needed to find my way to shine. And I've never felt warmer than when Jonas has said, "I love you" to me. And just our flesh touching makes my heart beat more than anything. And I've always known. I've been through a lot, and I went to rehab for a little bit, and I'm not ashamed of that, because I was just in a dark place. I was around the wrong people. It was all through miscommunication with, I guess, the world around me. And going to rehab was the best thing to happen, that could have happened, because I might have been dead. He could have lost me, but that's not what the world said at all. I learned how to be alone with myself, how to be content with closing my eyes, all kinds of things. And not for a day did I forget his face. I drew pictures of him almost every single day, I swear to you. Sticky notes everywhere, like, always on my mind. I stalked him on Google, and I wasn't allowed. I didn't care. I printed it out. My therapist there told me something that is basically like a staple of why I will never give up. Because hard times will come. But you know what? Family doesn't always get along. Like, at all. Like, we fight with our family more than most people in the world. And I'm not gonna let that stop anything. My soul is with his. And that's what matters. My therapist told me that if even for a second you caught each other's eyes and knew how much power that you'd have together, and the world said, let's see if they can fight for it. Let's take them away from each other. And that's that silly phrase that's like, if you love something, let it go. And if it was yours, it will come back, is actually kind of true, because I was gone for a year. He thought I was dead for real. He didn't know where I was. I didn't know if he still loved me at all, and of course he did. He told me that when he was in Seattle and scared of never having a chance in Utah ever again, he was supposed to just move to Seattle and stay there for the rest of his life. He said he looked out at the ocean and he was thinking of me, and he found a wishing rock, but it wasn't like other wishing rocks. It was white with a black stripe in the middle. And he said he wished for me. And he threw it in the ocean, and now I'm right here. I've been playing this song to him since we were like very first together. We would video call all the time because we were too young to really hang out 24/7. And I would sing him to sleep with this song. It's kind of generic, but it just works, okay?
Within these rings lies the symbol of the circle, and something a circle never does is end. Within these rings lies the bounty these lovers express through each other. Within these rings lies a promise of the eternal energy this couple shares, and a reminder that love will not be forgotten. Amethyst, by receiving this ring from Jonas, do you promise to exist as one with him, as true partners? Jonas, by receiving this ring from Amethyst, do you promise to exist as one with her,